Hello, everybody. I'm Sarah. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tozero. Raise your hands if you have a white powder in your pocket. Don't be shy. Any hands? Okay. In 5 minutes, you're going to raise all of your hands here on stage. So what do we do at Tozero? We truly bring lithium-ion battery waste to zero. We're probably in the most difficult challenge of humankind today, which have been already mentioned early on, which is how to avoid climate crisis. We have to bring 51 billion tons of CO2 to zero every single year globally. The good thing is we have a solution, which is the lithium-ion batteries. One of the solutions is to electrify most of our industries. And what does this mean for Europe? We have to produce lots of lithium-ion batteries. Today, we don't produce that many batteries yet, but that's going to change. There's a lot of investment going on here in Europe. But what a lot of people do not talk about is that this creates lots of waste. So we're going to face a 200-fold waste from now until 2040. And the thing is that this is not going anywhere. This is really, as mentioned earlier in the moderation, considered as a hazardous waste. You might think of yourself, wait a minute, doesn't BMW and all the other OEMs say the cars last 8 to 12 years that you can drive until you need to maybe switch your lithium-ion battery? The thing is that a lot of people don't talk about it, is that in the gigafactories, in the first 6 to 12 months, when you ramp it up, you have up to 30, 50, even 70% of production scrap, and then it goes slowly down. So in today's waste, we have 60% that comes from the production of lithium-ion batteries themselves, that you have to recycle immediately, that you cannot use as a second life. So that basically is just sitting there as a hazardous waste. Then yes, all your consumer electronics, all your laptops, all your iPhones, all your e-bikes, e-scooters that you're using around the cities, that is causing a lot of lithium-ion battery waste. And then yes, there are some cars that have been there around for the last 10 years that are coming back now to be recycled. So what happens to this hazardous waste today here in Europe? You throw it into really high temperatures. This is called pyrometallurgy. It's 1,400 degrees, and you more or less melt everything away. You have all the very precious critical materials in your lithium-ion batteries, which is your nickel, cobalt, that is recovered in this process. But the white gold, the lithium, which is in every single lithium-ion battery, is completely lost in this process. Your graphite, which is your anode, the minus of your battery, is burned in this process into CO2. So I don't call this recycling. This is literally just removal. The European Commission is quite smart sometimes, and they set a very strict regulation and said, hold on a minute. We have all these battery waste that are hazardous, yes, but they hold so many raw materials that we need to extract because Europe doesn't have any of that. We have less than 3% of all these raw materials here in Europe. Would it not make sense to properly recycle this? So by 2030, the European Commission said, we have to make sure that we recycle it properly. We have to recover over 80% of the lithium of every single lithium-ion battery that is here in Europe, but also nickel and cobalt, over 95%. And what is super interesting is that by 2030, every single new battery that is being produced here in Europe has to entail a percentage of recycled material. This is a good business opportunity, and this is where we come in as Tozero. We have a chemical process that we've invented, and we truly bring lithium-ion battery waste to zero and close the circle, the loop, for the lithium-ion batteries. We receive the production scrap from all the gigafactories that are being set up at the moment here in Europe. We receive the end-of-life batteries from second-life usage, but also from the OEMs and also from consumers, and truly extract all the critical materials. So remember the white powder that I mentioned in the very beginning. So now you know, you have it in all of your pockets. So this is lithium that we've been producing in Munich. And the great thing is, lithium is really what we need in the future here in Europe. The demand is rising, as mentioned in the very beginning. And if we can properly recycle this, through recycling, we can recover and produce and basically provide 72% of Europe's demand by 2040. This is fantastic because this allows Europe to be independent from mining imports. mainly from China, but also from Latin America and overseas, very far away. And the second benefit, of course, is mining versus urban mining. You can reduce lots of CO2. The carbon footprint of every single battery can be reduced to up to 72%. So this is exactly our true motivation at Tozero. We're based in Munich, German company, proper German engineering. My co-founder is there in the back. I'm going to make her shy now. CTO, I got 2 employees here sitting in the front. Raise your hands, great. So talk to them later. And all the highlighted countries here that you see here in Europe are where we are already providing our recycling services and truly bring back all the raw materials in Munich in our headquarters. Let's have a look at our video to see how the insides of our company looks like.
We live in a world where recycling is a necessity.
Of course, recycling batteries is an important topic. The really most important, most expensive materials as lithium are really not recycled up to now.
Renewable energy is the answer for the transformation of the energy sector. Recycling is one key answer for managing scarcity of resources, such as minerals and rare material. You are strengthening the supply of raw materials to the economy, and you are helping Germany to play a pioneering role in the circular economy in Europe.
In the long term, of course, lots of batteries from cars, from trucks will come back. In my opinion, will first have a second use, and then they will have to be recycled. And this is a big potential where Tozero can do a lot.
This was my main motivation to really tackle one of the challenges where I can, with my knowledge and background, reduce the lithium-ion battery waste to zero.
We don't want to reduce the quality of life, and that's where we set ourselves on the vision statement, which is let's regenerate materials, give them a second life, a third life, maybe an eternal life. And that's what we do in our mission to truly bring lithium-ion battery waste to zero.
It's a cool startup with a great idea. I think we all know that we need high amount of recycling in the battery process. We have in Europe, for example, the Batterieverordnung, asking everybody who puts batteries into place to use a high recycling quota. So I think with this, Tozero really will make a difference.
My favorite part of work at Tozero is definitely the team, because the whole team is exceptionally driven to make a difference. And working with this team is just lovely, because everybody is really motivated to put in the extra work and to go the extra mile and get us there.
The whole Tozero team, it's fantastic what you have achieved.
Sarah and I have very aligned vision. In 5 years, we want to see Tozero as one of the leading European, but also worldwide battery recyclers.
All right. So yes, this is us. We're less than 1.5 years old. We're already producing. You've just seen the facilities based in Munich. We're 17 people strong now. Actually today, the 18th person started, and 10 different nationalities. That's something that I'm personally very proud of. And come and see us later. Thank you very much.